Good morning, YouTube. It's Coffee back at it, and this is some pretty terrifying stuff. It's being said as a day that's going to go down in the history books, will be in textbooks and schools, and I don't know what to make of it. Terrifying, I guess. I don't know.
This is the biggest news story of my lifetime. People don't know what they did. Ukraine transported 5 shipping containers full of drones secretly into Russia over the past couple of months. Then the drones activated. They came out of the shipping containers and they blew to smithereens 35% of the Russian long-range bombing air force. Do you understand what this means for warfare, for your safety? Post on this because this is like the biggest thing that's ever happened. The audacity of the people in power to introduce this type of drone warfare that puts at risk every single human being on the earth. Now that we've introduced this, that, we might secretly implant drones that can autonomously function into your communities and blow. Now that we've introduced that card into the deck for warfare, man, y'all better be fighting over some important than you. What are you fighting about? What?
So that's good old lawyer for workers. You know, he weighs in on a lot of the hip hop stuff going on and the legal cases and such, as you know, in the hip hop world. Even if you don't follow, I'm sure you're well aware of all the RICO cases and podcasts utilizing gang culture to push all kinds of different stuff and then share info with the feds. It's a crazy time we're living in, you know, technology wise. Information is spreading so fast, but obviously this has nothing to do with the hip hop world, but definitely has to do with technology and info spreading fast and everything else, as you see multiple crazy reports coming out about this as the Ukraine-Russian conflict or war or whatever it's been going on. I'm sure a lot of people have family members that were over there involved in that, like myself, right, from the U.S. being involved in a sense. But check it, over 40 Russian warplanes reportedly hit in massive Ukrainian drone strike. Ukraine Security Service has launched a major drone operation, reportedly damaging more than 40 Russian aircraft, including A-50, Tu-95. I'm not sure what all these different are, bombers. That's over $2 billion in damage, and different footage emerging. And you guys remember a while back, right before Trump got back in office, it was something that was being reported on more from like the AI extraterrestrial realm in news and blog pages and stuff were speaking about it more, was those drones everyone was seeing all over the place above water. And you know, it was like, is it aliens? What is it? And Trump was like, yeah, if I was in office, which he wasn't yet, he's like, I'd do something about it, or I'd say something about it, or something. But he was saying they know exactly what it is. And I'm not saying this is Ukrainians, but I'm just saying like the capabilities of these drones is pretty wild. And just seeing what happened here, again, I'm not saying those two situations are tied together, but just what the future could be looking like as far as drones and technology, and situations could happen where people are taken out and it's pushed out there as something different happened. And you know, I don't know, there's always a lot of propaganda and stuff. Not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, I'm just not someone who always believes everything that we hear is exactly how it is or what it is or why it is. And I also believe that the things that we do hear is often like 1/10 of the reality of what's going on, that things are far more advanced than the everyday individual knows, or that the news is reporting, that there's way more going on, or way more that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get with this story, we're talking about this big situation that Ukraine pulled off against Russia, but I'm just talking on a larger scale, just with drones and the capabilities, the way things can happen in a lot of different situations. If law enforcement will utilize drones, or already is, or if government agencies, like I was saying, will utilize them, or different situations could happen. People could be targeted in ways, and you know, when it goes down in the books, it could be like, oh, something totally else happened. It's just pretty fucking crazy, pretty scary, you know. Like, so often I'm a guy that's not all into tech like that, I'm more like, hey, is the Bluetooth kicking in on my headphones so I can listen to this podcast or something like that? But just like the way that Bluetooth signal can connect, a lot of other things can be connecting and taking off. And I know I'm kind of all over the place, jumping around a bit, but it's just crazy where the world's at and where technology is. And then you think about countries that dislike the U.S. or what the U.S. could be doing to other countries. Like, I always wonder how countries all keep the peace with each other. What stops places from taking shots at each other and trying to fake the funk like they don't know who was behind it or like they didn't do it, like it's going to be scary if World War III ever does kick off. I was thinking in the past year there could be some capabilities of something like that going down, but who knows, man. But I guess so much when it comes to countries dealing with each other has to do with business relationships and different things like that. Countries that may not even like each other have interests to increase and keep the peace due to economic stuff and things like that. But just seeing this all go down kind of flucked me up a bit, like comment everyone out there or share your thoughts and about this whole Ukrainian drone strike on the Russians and the way they pulled it off. And just on the larger scale, my ramblings and just reactions and stuff, if you think of any of that stuff or what exactly you feel about it all. As you see some more reports here, today marked a significant setback for the Russians inflicted by the Ukrainians. Ukrainian drones destroyed 41 planes, showcasing great intelligence success. Ukraine has hashtag Ukraine, congratulations, Ukraine. Right here, this will be in textbooks. Ukraine secretly delivered FPV drones and wooden mobile cabins into Russia. The drones were hidden under the roofs of the cabins, which were later mounted on trucks. Damn, that's super slick. I didn't even understand it. That's the way they pulled it all off. Isn't that really something? At the signal, the roofs opened remotely. Dozens of drones launched directly from the trucks, striking strategic bomber aircraft. And Russia can't produce these bombers anymore. The loss is massive. Nothing like this has ever been done before. So what does this say too for Russia, for everyone out there? Like, so often countries dealing with each other and foreign wars and stuff like that, I feel, maybe I'm wrong, that things are so propagandized. It's often hard to really comprehend exactly what's going on if we're being told the full truth about it. But what does this say for Russia, period, man? Check out these drones. This is really something, man. I remember back 2014, 15, 16, somewhere in that time frame, there was reports of spies that Putin sent to the US of A. And basically it was like, hey, the mission was see if you can just get in the country, sneak your way in. And I think all 5 of them did or something like that and reported back. I don't know how it got to the US news or how it all played out or what the specifics of all that was, or if hell that was just some propaganda or fear mongering or whatever. But Russia, I guess, got their ass kicked and took a major L with this one. Isn't it too some of the stuff that was going on with Snowden that we were hearing about with the programs that he set up, that he freaked the fuck up about and had to get away from it and alert the press as to everything was going on, that they were doing drone strikes and stuff like that. Am I right? Or I don't know. But yeah, I apologize, guys. Again, I know I'm rambling a bit on about all this stuff, just all over the place, but this was some pretty wild news to wake up and take in first thing in the AM. So hit the comments, subscribe. Let's talk about it all. It's Coffee, talking the news and more, and I'm gone.